again,
to the show that never ends.
yeah, we don't get together often, so we make the most of it.
Right.
For those of you that have guessed that, yeah, we do try to take multiple of these.
Right.
We're back with something that, again, mea culpa on my part, talked shit an awful lot about. Johnnie Walker Red.
Yeah.
The world's #1 selling scotch. And as I briefly mentioned, I have talked a lot of shit about this as being one of the worst scotches.
Yeah, not a fan.
This little bad boy is one of the small sizes. I don't know exactly how big it is, but it's 300 milliliter, or excuse me, 200 milliliters, weighed in at $9. The full 750 is still well within our price point. I don't remember exactly what it was,
but it's in there. It's literally their bottom shelf.
First time I tried Johnnie Walker Red, I hated it. Again, it had a metallic taste to it. I had not acclimated to the, unlike other scotches, this does not have a smoke. It's got an ash.
Yeah.
Just didn't enjoy it, and I don't know if that was because of my own preconceptions of what it was supposed to be, or my palate at the time.
Now, fair warning, or devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it, there are other Johnnie Walker labels that we both enjoy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're not like, oh, Johnnie Walker's like, we just don't like the red.
I like Johnnie Walker Black, fine.
Johnnie Walker Black, Johnnie Walker Green, Johnnie Walker Blue,
Green.
Like,
I haven't had it for a while, but Johnnie Walker Green, loved it.
Yeah,
I've got a little bit of Johnnie Walker Gold in the house right now, and I really like that too.
It's a really nice, friendly, just laid back thing. This, not so much. But again, this is the Budweiser of scotch.
Until this summer, because it has been so hot this summer, been delving an awful lot more into highballs, because ice, whiskey in a format that benefits the ice.
So that's what we're
and
gonna
I
do.
finally get it.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
So he wants me to get it. So we're gonna make 2 highballs here really quick. So
There
he
we
would
go.
do the honors with the whiskey, and I'll do the honors with the club soda.
By the way, I really like these little 200 milliliter bottles. They're so handy.
How's that? That looks about right.
That looks about right. Yeah. Let's top this up.
Bingo. That's perfect. Right on the nose. Look at that.
And it's silly to nose a cocktail, but I like to.
Actually, that's actually a good nose on this.
The brightness of the lemon zest, because I just whacked a little zest off and popped it in here before I came back outside.
Yeah.
The effervescence gives it a sharpness.
Yeah. And that metallic taste is really, really, really reduced. It's not, I really, honestly, I don't taste it.
And when we were talking about this the other day, John mentioned that, putting in the seltzer really unlocks some of the characteristics of Johnnie Walker.
Yep.
And I finally get some of the tasting notes that I've heard people say. The first time I tried it in Little Club Soda, I finally tasted the apple juice and the ash, but the ash was toned down enough to where it wasn't offensive. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I will
get
100% agree with that. There is a little hint of ash in there, but it's not like you're licking an ashtray. The apple
it's kind of a
green apple.
It's kind of a campfire the next day kind of ashy quality. And it's not unpleasant. It may sound kind of gross, but it's not. It's
no. This is actually good. I like this highball better than the Jameson's.
Yeah.
Highball
head and shoulders better.
We just made it. It's got a lot more character.
It's cleaner.
Yeah, this tastes like a highball.
Yeah, I can taste the whiskey in it.
Yeah.
I can taste the scotch, but it's still extremely light. It's nice and cold, a lot of ice, perfect for such a sunny, hot day.
Yeah.
Not as hot as it's going to get, but we hit over 95 today, I think.
Yeah.
If I were out here on the grill barbecuing, I could happily sip on one of these bad boys. If I had a proper highball glass, tall, thin, fluted glass.
Well, today I'd put it in a Yeti. It's gonna melt like that.
A Yeti of a highball. That's brilliant.
Hey, here's your Yeti highball.
So,
I don't know.
To Johnnie Walker and all of you out there who have made this the #1 selling scotch in the world.
Yeah, we apologize.
Mea culpa.
Mea culpa.
I gladly feast on my plate of crow, and I get it. I understand now.
Yeah.
And
not a daily sipper.
No.
But a great mixer.
Oh.
Truly a great mixer.
That unlocks another thought that I had earlier. There was an episode of the Whiskey Tribe's YouTube series that they put out that Rex and a guest were reliving a day as Winston Churchill,
God.
drinking everything in a day that Winston Churchill would drink.
That is a challenge I will never take.
Multiple highballs were on that list. And after watching it, and by the way, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. Should be easy to find. But there's no way I could have had that much alcohol in a day.
No.
On a single day, much less a reoccurring basis, and be functional.
And
Even in my job, much less as a head of state.
yet he fought the Nazis in that condition. Like that man, they're just these guys in history who develop a tolerance. Your Dean Martins,
It's delicious. This is something I can see keeping them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I like keeping these little tiny cans of club soda or tonic around.
Yeah.
These are
That's all
fantastic, by the way, because you can make 1 or 2 drinks out of one of these bad boys, whatever brand you like, this size of can, and the rest don't go flat. That was my problem with club soda, because I buy a 1 liter bottle, crack it open, and then get back to it a week or 2 later, and by that time it lost a lot of its fizz.
I do recommend to people to experiment with the simplicity of a highball and various whiskeys. When I lived in Japan, there are highball bars over there, but they're usually sponsored by Suntory. It's actually Suntory's bar, and they sell highballs and beer and takoyaki, little octopus balls things. Which, if you don't know what that are, it sounds gross. They're delicious. They're fantastic. But that's it. It's the yellow label Suntory, which is their bottom shelf, the equivalent
Suntory
to the
Toki.
Yeah, Suntory. Yeah, like the Toki. That's what they're selling there. The yellow label Suntory is what they're putting in there. It's their bottom shelf liquor, but it makes a nice highball. But then I went to a party where someone was making highballs with that, and I brought a bottle of Monkey Shoulder to that party, and I was like, well, let's make a highball out of Monkey Shoulder and see what that's like. And it's just like tasting different whiskeys. You make highballs with club soda or soda water, then it does crack open the whiskey and imparts different variations on it. And everyone there who tried the different highballs with me was like, wow, it's not that like the Monkey Shoulder was better than the Suntory, although I think as a straight sipper, people would say that.
Yeah.
Well, this Monkey Shoulder is way better than the Suntory. Yeah. But when we made highballs out of them, people weren't saying, oh, and the Monkey Shoulder is a better highball than they were like, well, it's different. It's apples and oranges. And then it becomes personal preference.
As a flight of my own early whiskey snobbery, I was focused on neat sipping.
Yeah.
And that's why I hated on the Johnny Walker. And I also hated on the highball, because I thought, why would I want to water down my whiskey? What's the point? If I want to drink whiskey, I want to drink the whiskey. I want to really get intimate with it.
Yeah.
And now, again, I get it.
Right, because
there
if
is
you
a lot
just poured regular water, if you poured 5 or 6 ounces of regular water and ice on top of this, it would water it down. It would smash it. But there's something about club soda, the carbonation in it. It just does different things on the molecular level, and it does bring out different flavors and different notes. So it's hard to go wrong with a highball. It's really an underrated drink. Yeah. It is such an underrated drink.
And as hot as it's been,
and for
and
a
it ain't
summer
getting any
drink,
cooler.
Yeah, my 2 favorite summer drinks,
Absolutely.
the drinks I enjoy the most on a hot day in the summer that I always go to are a simple highball and a G&T.
Yeah.
On a hot day like today with a classic gin and tonic, that is one of my favorite things.
Absolutely.
But I tend to do the highballs if I want a little bit more just relaxing and refreshment, and I tend to do the G&Ts a little bit more if I'm trying to get a little fuzzy.
Another nice thing about the cocktail, about the highball as a cocktail, is that you can control the octane in this bad boy. You can make it dilute, you can make it stronger, up to a certain point when the whiskey starts to overpower the club soda. But I made these with maybe 3/4 an ounce.
Yeah. But you can
half
tell
of
it's hot
this.
day. Look, the ice is.
Oh yeah.
We're recording. We're not even 10 minutes into this, and my ice is already almost.
Yeah,
melted.
it's well into the 90s.
Yeah. And this came out of the fridge, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. So this wasn't. Well, it's the club soda's one. No. This has been in the fridge, and that's how hot it is. The ice is almost melted. It's crazy.
But this is light enough that this probably has the same alcohol content as maybe a beer.
Maybe. Yeah.
So you can drink this, relax. Don't worry about it going to your head. It's got.
I'm driving out of here if that tells you anything.
But it still has enough flavor that I
Yeah.
can really savor it.
Exactly.
So again, mea culpa.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker Red, I get you now.
Yeah.
I would gladly keep that around.
Exactly.
And
So get this, have it on your bar for mixing, okay, and make those great summer cocktails. There's
And
you still
again,
got some time left, guys.
if you want to keep this on your bar and just
4, 3 4s, right? That's, you know, I'm gonna win the lottery now, kids.
if you want to keep it around for a neat sipper and you enjoy it, sure. That's another one. I remember seeing another channel of someone being introduced to Scotch for the first time, and they preferred this over Johnny Walker Blue.
Yeah,
Um,
which I find weird, but okay, whatever. I'm not here to yuck your yum.
and I personally, I really enjoy a lot of blended scotches.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's one thing we were never snobby about is blended scotches,
Oh,
because
hell
by the
yeah.
time we started getting into whiskeys, we'd already heard from the whiskey tribe. We'd already found out about Compass Box and things like that.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, in the entire history of Compass Box, and we've tried most of their offerings. There's one or two that are just a little bit out of our price range, no matter. And we're not talking bottom shelf price range. We're talking
over
a
100,
price range.
over $100.
Yeah,
I've
well
had a
over
couple
$100.
of their bottles that are over $100.
Yeah.
But
So, but of all of their offerings that I've tried, I've loved every single one of them except the Spaniard. Spaniard's got a kind of a thing on the finish.
Yeah.
Like when I take the sip, it's great, and then the finish has this like thing I don't like at all.
didn't hate it, but didn't love it.
Yeah, so I never went back to the
But
Spaniard.
when it comes to their bottom shelf offerings, which are not quite in our price range, but still Great King Street,
Mm.
that's a fine blended whiskey.
Everything else that's ever been blended by Compass Box has been fantastic. Cannot recommend their products
But-
highly enough.
Johnny Walker. Again, it's a #1 selling scotch in the world for a reason. And that's, now that I've had it the way that I think most people are going to drink it,
Yeah.
that is a fine bottle. That is a fine bottle and a
I
fine
would do that
drink.
on Coke as well. I would do a whiskey and Coke with that, and I'll bet that would Johnny Walker Red and Coke. Yeah, and we're not going to try it today because I'm at
yeah.
my drinking limit, so I'm
Yeah.
going to drive home. But I would try that in a Coke. You know, like a Jack and Coke, Johnny and Coke. I would
Yeah.
try that.
So there you
bet
have
would
it,
work out
friends.
Cheers. Come by. Enjoy.
Till next time.
Until next time.